Hi there, this is a short walkthrough of this grovplanering document. In English, I call this a rough plan because it is not very detailed, it is like high-level plan. And the rough plan document, it's gonna end up as a part of your team, your group's report, the final report for this assignment. So this is the first part of your team's assignment, and it is a separate document now at this time. And it is partly because I will reuse this in other assignments. And also the second reason is that I want to read it before you jump into your teamwork and start gathering information for your article. So I want you to show it to me so I can say that it is passed and you can go on. You will start by creating a copy of the document because, as usual, this is a read-only document, so you cannot change it, you cannot change anything. So you start by creating a copy of the document, archive, copy, you name it something, and afterwards you will share it by pressing the share button. You will share it between the ones in your team. And we also have, so this you share it with your team members and with me as well. And what I always recommend you to do is that you share it with the permission is called like everyone. So you share it with everyone so everyone can read it or update it. There are several template texts in this document. This, what I highlighted here, is a template text. This is a template, this is a template, this is a template. So once you're finished with the document, I want you to remove all the template texts. They are just for supporting you when you write the document, but they are not necessary once you are finished. Here you add the participants that belong to your group. So the first and last names of all you, the 4 of you that belong to the group. Here is the subject that you set the title or the subject in the first teamwork that you do, the third team assignment that you perform. You are to select one topic from a list of around 5 to 10 topics that I have predefined for you, and here you write which topic you selected. In other assignments, the topic can be like a system that you're going to work on or something else. So this may vary from time to time. Then you're going to set some kind of goals for this assignment. So these are the goals for your entire assignment. Describe what the goals are for the team regarding the subject and or your teamwork, and also some potentially development goals for you as a group. One example of a development group as a group could be that you want to have a very good knowledge of each other and no conflicts, or that you should be like a stable group or something like that, or that you should reach some phase in IMGD, for instance. The goals for the team, it could be something that you would like to dig deeper into the subject or present some kind of aspects of the subject to the whole class or something like that, or learn something that you will find useful for your career, for instance. Here, your team agreements will end up, and these are the parts that I need you to detail in your team agreements. So how should you come to decisions? How should you make decisions? Should you use consensus in sometimes, or what ways will you use, basically? Which methods, which way of working will you choose to do? And you probably have one way of making more important decisions and some other tools or way of working when the decision is not equally important. which tools you're going to work with, like Zoom or Google Meet, Google Docs, Google presentations. Which days and times do you intend to work on this assignment? My default suggestion is that you work between like 9 to 4 p.m., 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., 5 days per week. But I know that we have lots of students that have like extra jobs or family or etc. So the first thing you need to do is to discuss among each other and come to a solution of which days and times do you work. Do you work only in daytime, or is it perhaps so that some meetings are in the evenings or something? I don't wish that you work the entire nights or Saturdays and Sundays, but sometimes it's hard to get the whole team together. My recommendation is 9 to 4 on Mondays to Fridays, but you decide what works for you. I want you to have a decision of when the camera should be turned on. Is it all the time? Is it never? Is it during some meetings, some specific meetings like the retrospective meetings or the sprint planning or the daily scrum or something? You decide what you would like to do. How would you handle conflicts, potentially conflicts? I would like you to have a plan A and a plan B. So how do you solve it firsthand, and how do you solve it if it doesn't turn out well? Which climate are you striving for in the group, and when and how do you wish to provide feedback? These are the questions you're going to discuss. And then follows the sprint plan. The sprint plan is for the in this case it is 3 sprints, 1, 2, and 3 sprints, and each sprint it consists of approximately 10 tasks per week. So these are the tasks, approximately 10 tasks per week, and I have pre-filled some suggestions for you. It is very common. I would say this is how we do it, the way of working. We start by planning the sprint each week, and we finish by having the retrospective meeting at the end of the week. In this special occasion, when you have 3 sprints ahead of you, I need you to plan all the 3 sprints at once. I need you to do it now. So I need you to plan the 3 sprints now already from day 1. In reality, we make a detailed plan for 1 sprint at a time. But in some situations, in this situation, I need you to have an overall picture of what you're going to accomplish for the first and the second and the third sprint. So I need you to do that now already. And when you then arrive at the second sprint, you revise the items that you had planned in the first sprint. So in the first sprint, you give us an idea of what you would like to do in the second sprint and in the third sprint. And when you arrive to the second sprint, you look at the list and see if it is ambitious enough. Is it too many, or is it too few items in your activities? So sprint planning, review feedback, work on your individual reflection, and then a retrospective. And that was what I explained here, that you revise your plan every week. It's a pro tip to include some getting to know each other exercises, like the timeline or the list of what is it called in English, properties, the egenskaper, the things that identifies you. We made one of those exercises in the first course, and you can also play some kind of games where scribble is one example, but there are several others. Or you can just do Swedish fika or talk about your families or whatever. All the sprints are more or less the same. Here are the dates. I need you to fill in the dates, and I need you to set a goal. How should you set a goal for a sprint? On a very high level, you could say that in the first sprint, in this situation, you're gonna need to select a topic. What are you doing in the first sprint, more or less? You are working on the topic and you're starting to read about the topic and you're starting to write your report. In the second sprint, you continue writing your report, and in the third sprint, you finalize everything and submit it to LearnPoint. That's pretty much the sprint goals for the first 3 sprints, or not for the first 3, for the entire sprints that we do. So we do 3 sprints in this team, in this group assignment. In the third sprint, we also submit it. We submit it to LearnPoint, and you also have your presentation to the class where you describe your findings or results of your document that you have written. So that's pretty much the rough planning document, and we use it because many students think that it gives them a clearer view of the work that needs to be done during this assignment. It helps you structure, and as we go, we also practice on setting sprint goals, and we practice on identifying tasks, etc. So I think this is a very good start of planning your sprints. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.